Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. It's certainly been a while since we've been here at Gridiron HQ and have actually talked some football. We just wrapped up our very own 2020 NCAA tournament, which ended with the 5th-seeded Virginia Cavaliers winning their second straight national title. But now it is time to get back to the gridiron. From now until the end of the year, whether there's a season or not, we will be talking non-stop football. The last time we did that, we just finished talking about the new Power 5 head coaching hires. Today, we are ranking our top 5 group of 5 head coaching hires. So without further ado, the Gridiron Expert is back. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
There were 24 brand new coaching hires at the FBS level this offseason. 12 in the Power 5, 12 in the Group of 5. And coming in at number 5 on our list, we have Rickey Raines, the former Penn State offensive coordinator that has now taken the head coaching job at Old Dominion. And let me tell you, this was a super tough call for who to put here at number 5. It was between Raines, Steve Adazio, who went to go coach at Colorado State, or Ryan Silverfield, who is now the head coach at Memphis after the departure of Mike Norvell to Florida State. But we went with Raines here, a guy that maybe a lot of people didn't know about or didn't know enough about. A guy that has thrived under James Franklin, was with James Franklin back in 2011 through 2013 during his time at Vanderbilt. Did a great job coaching quarterbacks there, a major reason why Vanderbilt won multiple 9-game seasons during that time under James Franklin. A large part of that was due to Rickey Raines and that offense. Once again, that's unprecedented. That's unbelievable for Vanderbilt football. Raines followed Franklin to Penn State, where he coached the quarterbacks from 2014 to 2015, coaching Christian Hackenberg to break, at the time, all the major Penn State passing records. He was moved to tight ends coach after that, coached Mike Gesicki, who is doing extremely well in the NFL right now. And then in 2017, took over as offensive coordinator for that Fiesta Bowl, where they defeated Washington by 7, put up over 500 yards of offense against that Chris Peterson-led defense. And then since then, the rest is history. Sean Clifford, Trace McSorley, Miles Sanders, KJ Hamler, all those players, all in credit due to Rickey Raines. Their performances are all in credit to him. Whether he was coaching quarterbacks, tight ends, or the entire offense, the reason Penn State's offense has thrived so well and at times has been one of the best in the Big Ten and one of the best in the nation is because of this man right here. So a sneaky good hire by the Monarchs, who parted ways with Bobby Wilder after a 31-42 record during his time at Old Dominion. Keep in mind, he did have a 10-3 season in 2016. So what I'm trying to say here is Old Dominion has not been at the FBS level for very long, but they have proven that they can win in the Conference USA, that they can win at a high level. And when Rickey Raines comes in here and plugs in his offensive style, better watch out. The Monarchs are going to be a team to watch out for in that Conference USA. So a fantastic hire, a sneaky good hire among all the other Group of 5 coaching hires this offseason. Coming up here at number 4, we begin our list of the Mountain West coaches. Really, we could have just entitled this Mountain West coaching rankings for brand new coaches, because out of the 12 new Group of 5 coaches that were hired, 6 of them took place in the Mountain West Conference. We have 4 of them right here. We start with Kalin de Boer, who is now taking over for Jeff Tedford, who surprisingly left after a disappointing 4-8 season at Fresno State in 2019. Why is de Boer such a good hire? Why do we have him up here at number 4, really out of 12? Because de Boer was the offensive coordinator for the Bulldogs from 2017 to 2018. So one thing you already have to keep in mind is that in the year's 2020, some of these players that maybe redshirted or were freshmen at the time might still be around and have a relationship with de Boer. He was the offensive coordinator during that time where Fresno State went 22-6, including a 12-2 record in 2018, where they averaged 34.6 points per game. One of the better offenses in the entire country at the time. He left Fresno State not knowing Tedford was going to leave at the end of the 2019 season, left to go take the offensive coordinating job at Indiana, where the Hoosiers averaged nearly 32 points per game this past season and clinched their first 8-win season since 1993. And he was coaching guys like Michael Penix. He was coaching guys like Peyton Ramsey. That Indiana offense was good. Fell just short in that bowl game, though, to Tennessee. But he knows the area well at Fresno State. He knows the system well. He might know some players. He knows the conference. So a phenomenal job by Fresno State to go out and get their guys. That we need to get someone in here that's going to be able to implement the same style that we've seen the past few years. That style, all in credit, goes to Kalin de Boer, and that's why he was a fantastic hire from this Bulldogs administration. So he comes in at number 4 on our list. Right above him, we have Marcus Arroyo. Great offensive mind out of Oregon. Keep in mind, guys, 3 years as offensive coordinator at Oregon. Was working under Willie Taggart. Worked alongside Mario Cristobal before he went and took over as head coach of the Ducks. But during his 3 years as some sort of offensive coordinator capacity, Oregon scored at least 34 points per game in each of those 3 years. Never was less than 34 points per game in those 3 years. He has NFL coaching experience. Was a quarterback's coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2014. He was the running back coach at Oklahoma State from 2015 to 2016, where they averaged 171 rushing yards per game in that 2016 season. So this is a brilliant offensive mind who has coached in the Big 12, has coached in the Pac-12, has coached lightly in the NFL. Brilliant offensive mind, a brilliant hire by UNLV, still staying within the Western region. So that's going to be huge when it comes down to recruiting. Arroyo knew how to recruit at Oregon. Got some big-time recruits, some big-time athletes there. He's staying in that region, that Nevada, Las Vegas region, way out west. That's going to help him maybe recruit some great offensive players to a Rebels team that has had just 2 winning seasons and 2 bowl appearances since 2000. Think about that, guys. 20 years from 2000 to now. 2 winning seasons and just 2 bowl appearances. He is inheriting a very damaged and very, very bad UNLV program. But I wholeheartedly believe he can be the guy to turn them around and make them relevant again in this Mountain West Conference. Right above him, we have Todd Graham at Hawaii. Why do we have a guy that hasn't coached college football since 2017 at number 2 on our list of top 5 group of 5 coaching hires? Well, we all know that Nick Rolovich did a phenomenal job transforming that Hawaii football program. We know that he got them back up to really offensive relevancy, made that Cole McDonald a run-and-shoot type of offense very, very dangerous to stop within the Mountain West. Got them to the Mountain West Championship game last year, won a bowl game, and then he left to go take over at Washington State after Mike Leach left to go take the Mississippi State head coaching job. And Rolovich, we mentioned in our Power 5 coaching hires, what a great hire that was, how he's going to take over a former Mike Leach system with the same kind of system he wants to implement himself. The beauty of all of that is Todd Graham is going to come in and run an offense very similar to what Nick Rolovich used to run at Hawaii. Todd Graham also, and we talk about that with Brady Hoke in a second, is one of the few, actually the only coach on this list that has prior head coaching experience. And that is a huge, huge key when you're looking for a brand new head coach. Not saying you can't hire coordinators. They always do well. So you got to start somewhere. But Graham has 12 years of head coaching experience, 95-61 record overall in those 12 years. He last coached at Arizona State for 6 years, where he went 46-32. But at Arizona State, in the Pac-12, once again, way out west. Still, I know Hawaii, way out there, way out on the islands, but you've got to be able to recruit in that western region. Graham can do that. At Arizona State, he won. He won big games. He finished at number 14 in the country in 2014. He had 2 10-win seasons. His teams at Arizona State averaged 31 points per game or more every single year. So for 6 years, his teams never dipped below 31 points per game. His offensive system is going to stay fairly relevant and fairly the same as Nick Rolovich's system. Pair that with the prior head coaching experience. Pair that with the ability to recruit. Hawaii football is not going to tank. Hawaii football is not going to take a step back like you would expect under a brand new head coach. Todd Graham comes in after a short break from coaching college football, and he expects to win now at Hawaii, and he can absolutely do it. And finally, coming in at number 1, our final Mountain West coach to make this list, our number 1 coach on this list, Brady Hoke. Remember that name? Former Michigan head coach. Hasn't been a head coach in a long time because we're not going to count that slight interim period that he had at Tennessee a few years ago. But what's so cool about this hire right here by the Aztecs is how things have come full circle for not just San Diego State and their program, but for Brady Hoke and his coaching career. Because if you've watched college football for a long time, or if you just are a college football history junkie, you know that Brady Hoke coached San Diego State back in 2009 and 2010. His overall record with the Aztecs then was 13-12. But in 2010, he got the Aztecs to their first 9-win season since 1977 and got them to their first bowl appearance since then as well, or since 2000, excuse me. He left for Michigan right after that San Diego State really great run he had there. One bad year, one good year, good enough to take a jump to one of the biggest college football programs in history. Goes to Michigan where he goes 31-20, including an 11-2 season and a Sugar Bowl victory in his first year, and then slowly declined after that. Goes 8-5, 7-6, 5-7, and then was gone. But the reason he was immediately promoted to head coach here is he was the defensive line coach at San Diego State in 2019. Rocky Long, kind of like Jeff Tedford, surprised a lot of people by stepping down, and Rocky Long really continued the success that Hoke set him up for at San Diego State when he left for Michigan. And Brady Hoke, because he knows San Diego State, because he knows the area, because he knows the system well, because he's coached there before, he was the perfect fit to take over for this Aztecs program that has consistently been elite within the Mountain West Conference, has consistently been a danger to upset a couple of Power 5 schools, and has been a perennial bowl team, and not just that, been a perennial bowl team that wins in the postseason. So Brady Hoke, the way it all set up for San Diego State, to me, is the right choice to be our number one pick on these brand new coaching hires among the group of 5 schools. Everything comes full circle, eventually. You never know when it's going to be, but it always does. And that time is now for Brady Hoke and the Aztecs. And one little thing that we should throw in there is Brady Hoke's first year at Michigan was 2011, and that's also the last time the Wolverines beat Ohio State. So maybe the Wolverine fans are wishing they had Mr. Hoke on the sidelines right now instead of Mr. Khakis in Jim Harbaugh. But nonetheless, he's looking to continue the success at San Diego State like he did back in 2010 and like Rocky Long has continued for the past decade. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, your top 5 group of 5 head coaching hires from us here at the Gridiron Expert. Of course, there are 7 more that we don't even have on this list. We just ranked the top 5. There were 12 total. So we want to hear from you. Who's on here that shouldn't be? Who's not on here that should be? Who's too high? Who's too low? Leave them in the comments below. We want to hear from you. We want to discuss with you as always. So thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time on the Gridiron Expert.